Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Herdina and I will be discussing climate change effects on Minnesota's Boreal forest. To give you a bit of a background, Minnesota's Boreal forest is made up of mainly coniferous trees and includes 23 million acres in northeastern Minnesota. This forest type is an iconic landscape in Minnesota and it is a draw of a lot of money for tourism. The main climate change issue impacting Minnesota's Boreal forest is large sections of forests have been dying off over the last 15 years, and scientists are attributing this to increasing temperatures. The main reason for the expansive die-off of trees is mainly due to increasing temperatures. The average temperature in Minnesota has risen 2 degrees over the past 30 years, with some of the hottest years on record occurring very recently. Higher temperatures cause heat stress to the trees, which result in increased insect attacks and disease. Warmer temperatures also lead to increased competition from invasive species that move into the area, since the warmer temperatures expand the non-native habitats. Another main concern from the rapid shift in temperatures is that trees are not able to adapt fast enough and shift along with the shifting habitat. With rapidly shifting habitat, models are predicting that the boreal forest will be replaced with brushland and prairie within the next 100 years. The main mitigation strategy being utilized to lessen unavoidable impacts of climate change was produced by the University of Minnesota. The 3 adaptation strategies include resistance, which includes prescribed burns. Prescribed burns help keep areas clear of invasive species, while the native species are adapted to fire activities. The second strategy is resilience. Resilience is a way to boost the forest immune system through diversity by planting a mixture of tree species as well as mixing stands of young, mature, and old trees. This helps keep the forest healthy in the face of volatile weather and invasive species, 2 threats which are likely to increase with climate change. The third strategy is facilitation, which involves moving tree species to new habitat ranges where they are not currently growing, but are projected to provide the proper habitat conditions. It's based on the notion that rapid climate change will make it impossible for natural tree migration processes, such as seed dispersal, to occur. The biggest resources is collaboration. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are teaming up to provide resources and information to land managers and the public. They hope to meet the challenges brought about by climate change by coordinating federal and state land managers, private forest owners, and conservation organizations. The resources they have made available are 1. A forum for people working in boreal areas to effectively and efficiently share experiences and lessons learned. 2. Develop and make available new user-friendly tools to help public and private land managers factor climate change conditions into decision-making. 3. Support efforts by land managers, private owners, and others to implement new tools for addressing climate change. One of the biggest barriers is of everybody agreeing on the same strategy and working towards a unified approach. This is a big problem with the University of Minnesota's facilitation strategy mentioned in an earlier slide. It's based on the idea that rapid climate change will make it impossible for natural tree migratory processes such as seed dispersal to occur. This idea has caused a lot of controversy. Peter Reich, a fellow ecologist with the University of Minnesota, also helped write the strategy. He commented that it takes a lot of hubris to think that we can manipulate nature. We've done it before and we've failed. He also said that we've changed the landscape, we've changed the fire frequency, and now we're trying to change the climate. Keith Wendt, a manager of the Minnesota DNR, makes a helpful statement to remind us to keep our eyes on the big picture. He states that we must take responsibility for that and realize that our choices in the next decade will determine the forest of the future. With current projections, the future of the boreal forest is not looking so great. Data collected over the past 125 years show that temperature in Minnesota has been rising, and models predict that it will continue to rise at a rapid pace. There is also a clear trend among climate models that most of Minnesota's trees and plant ranges will shift more northward and eastward. By the end of this century, Minnesota's summer climate is predicted to resemble the current climate of Kansas. These changes affect Minnesota's woodlands through 1. Stress. Warming temperatures are likely to stress trees that are adapted to cooler conditions, which predisposes the trees to insects and diseases. Insects Insects and disease. Healthy trees can defend themselves against most native insects and disease threats. However, stressed trees are more vulnerable. As a consequence, native pests can have more damaging outbreaks when trees are stressed. These types of outbreaks are likely to become more common. And lastly, there's invasive plants. Many invasive species, like buckthorn, can thrive under a wide variety of conditions. Some native tree species can only thrive under a relatively narrow range of conditions. Now, to summarize this presentation, Minnesota's boreal forest, an iconic symbol of the state, is already seeing the impact of rapid climate change from increased temperatures. The good news is that there is a multi-agency, multi-state strategic plan to collectively address the climate change issues that are affecting the boreal forest. This plan includes providing resources to many landowners that want to help do their part. This is an excellent example of a climate change impact that has already been documented, along with examples of strategies and agencies working together towards minimizing the effects from climate change.